Hi everyone, Liam here from O'Brien Palmer. Today I'm joined by Amanda Jones from Leadership Shapers. Amanda, thanks for joining us today. Amanda, it'd be fantastic to get an example where you've worked with people to help transform their business before the need for dramatic intervention as becomes part of the insolvency system. And I know from the stories that you've shared with me until now that you've worked with an accounting firm. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so I've been working with the guys now for a number of years, and where it started was recognition that within their practice they were really running a few different operations and a lot of missed opportunities, inconsistencies, duplication, which felt as though, how sustainable is this going to be? But also, what potential are we not tapping into? So we actually started with a whole diagnostic process. So getting the partners in a room, what was really important to me was to hear the commitment from all of them to go on this journey towards something better, recognising that the way that we're working now isn't ideal.
So I'm curious, how was that deficiency or those issues, how is that manifesting in the daily life of the partners or business owners?
Really, frustration, I would say, was probably the biggest sort of recognisable indicator, if you like. So what are those indicators when things aren't going well? Some turnover in the staff. I think that staff turnover piece and that sort of sense of dissatisfaction, but also just staff, and particularly in an accounting firm, we know that we can have good visibility on performance. It's one of the probably simplest businesses to measure bottom line performance with. That made it really clear that there was just all of this untapped potential. So frustration, which that is sort of culture piece.
Yeah, manifesting as stress.
Yeah.
It's manifesting as dissatisfaction and frustration about, this could be so much more and it could be so much better.
Yes, exactly. And so it starts with painting a picture of what is possible. So we need to have that excitement for something better. And with those guys, it was as simple as sitting around the table and having someone so externally. So that was where it was good that I could come in and just say, look, low-hanging fruit, here's a whole bunch of things. But what it comes down to is being on the same page and creating alignment, which is something I love to talk about, is if we can get, in this case, the partners aligned, but in a different type of business, it might be the leadership team and moving in the same direction. So we have to know where we're headed that's different from just the bottom line results. Because if you ask anyone, what do you want to be doing? We want to be making a profit. We want to grow. That's great. That's kind of a given. It's more around, well, how do you want to be doing that? And we want to be doing that together for everyone to feel that they're succeeding, because that actually then results in the growth overall.
So these people have recognised that there's some deficiencies in the way their business is operating, probably in the way that they relate to each other and relate to their team and their staff.
Yes.
They've committed to taking the opportunity to observe that behaviour in themselves and recognise the opportunities for what they could be doing better.
Yes, and if I could just jump in there, we took it a step further. So whilst there was that recognition, I love data. So I did a bunch of profiling. So we actually profiled the partners around how they see themselves. We did some profiling of the organisation itself. Again, if we can start with data, so we've got something to see, but we've also got something that we can measure success against. So if wherever possible, I always love to get that data. If that's not possible, then we work it out anecdotally.
So you've worked with them to build a more integrated leadership team.
Yes.
You've looked at culture in the business and the HR piece. You've looked at processes and efficiencies and the way that the work is actually being performed. How long did it take before you could see measurable change in both business performance and satisfaction?
I think that almost straight away you get an initial shift. So people recognising, firstly, that the partners were willing to step back and approach things differently.
Yep.
So there's that first stage is always really exciting. So it's just that we're stepping into something new. Then it's about, okay, now we need to stay the course.
So you start with people from the top demonstrating that not only is change possible, but change is going to happen, and it has to happen because we're confronting and dealing with problems.
Yes.
So by demonstrating and showing that, everyone comes on that journey with you.
Yes.
What sort of tangible benefits in terms of business output came as a result of the process?
Well, overall performance, again, just people showing up more engaged because they've got clarity around what's expected of them. Mm-hmm. Just better conversations around performance. So linking performance discussions to growth and professional development, not just hitting KPIs, and aligning behaviours to the values of the organisation. So rather than just having values as something we plaster on the wall and never look or talk about again, if we truly believe in those values and then connecting behaviours that we can then have conversations with staff about, which is aspirational. So what does it look like to exceed those expectations? And that's what we're aspiring to. And then that translates into how we interact with clients. So for them, again, it's meeting that level of client delivery, satisfaction, which all then perpetuates that success because staff feel that sense of satisfaction and achievement, and then the business is succeeding.
So that's what I was going to ask you was, all these fantastic things, our business is operationally better, we're delivering better results for clients, our staff are happier, we've got a general sense of satisfaction. How does that translate into actual measurable, tangible growth and bottom line results?
Yeah, well, directly. So for these guys, it's set them on a path to be able to go on a growth campaign. So through advertising, so leads are flowing in because they have the capacity without actually expanding the team dramatically as well. Mm-hmm. So that's about tapping into the potential and the capacity that's already there to take on more work. So, I mean, that's the ultimate.
From my own point of view, we have seen the benefits of going on this journey internally at O'Brien Palmer. The results have been fantastic. Staff turnover is down, productivity is up, and general satisfaction is a very significant factor and goal that we've achieved through the process. So not just in the people that we're helping out, but in ourselves, we can see the benefits of engaging in this process and going on this journey. But it's been fantastic, and I know from working with you just how great the results can be and how much we can achieve in this process. So I look forward to continuing to work with you, and thank you so much for coming today and sharing your experience and your thoughts on this. Details down below. Don't be afraid to get in contact and have a conversation that might be the start of a process that leads to something significantly better than what's happening now.
Thank you. And it's been my pleasure. My fundamental belief is that everyone deserves to thrive, and I want to see that happening. And if our organisations and businesses are thriving with the people within them, then mission accomplished.
Thank you.